Memories. Renmin Kindergarten. Renmin Kindergarten. Back then, the school was located in what would now be considered an old neighborhood. It was very old. The streets were very, very narrow. Nowadays, even one car couldn't get through. The kindergarten itself was also very small, and it was together with Renmin Primary School. There aren't many things that left a particularly deep impression. It was quite a long time ago. The deepest impression was rain. Back then, it was summer, and when there was a heavy downpour, water would flow along the streets in front of the school like a small river. At that time, I would think, it's flooding, it's flooding. There was one moment. When school was over and it was raining heavily, I stood by the railing watching the flood at the school gate. Then nothing else really happened, but for some reason, a memory seed was left at that moment. Another time, on a rainy day, I saw several people walking together wearing Liangkai education raincoats. I think I had been to this in kindergarten. We had handicraft classes, paste, paper cutting, things like that. Once after school, I hadn't finished the task from class. My dad came to pick me up, and he said if I didn't finish it, I couldn't go home. I probably cried later. I don't know whether my dad stayed with me or I finished it myself. Another time, a classmate's parent brought a whole tank of jellyfish to the school, saying they were scooped from a reservoir. Jellyfish was such a novel thing back then. It was probably the first time in my life that I saw jellyfish in the real world. I was especially afraid of them. Afraid they could electrocute me, probably because of watching SpongeBob. But they were also very fascinating, so I could only spit a little. There was a boss in our class. We all called him Kelly. At that time, I was insanely mischievous and got into fights everywhere. I remember once I asked him if I could be the boss. He said something like, "Beat me first and then talk." I don't really remember later. After graduation, I heard from my mom that Kelly went to study somewhere else. In kindergarten, I was actually pretty good at running. PE relay races were the most fun. I ran super fast. Next to the kindergarten, there was also a small playground for us, and I remember a trampoline. In kindergarten, we had naps. We slept on the first floor of a nearby building because I was very afraid of teachers back then. Once during nap time, I couldn't hold my pee, but I didn't dare say anything, so I secretly pulled open my pants and peed into the gap of the bed. Unbelievable, right? Now that I look back, I also find it unbelievable. In the end, I think I told my parents, saying that I wet the bed, but I was awake. Oh right, in kindergarten, I think my lower class wasn't actually in Renmin Kindergarten. It was at a kindergarten by the roadside over in Shangju. It's still there, rare. When I have time, I'll take a photo. Next to the kindergarten, there was a small shop. I liked going there to buy little toy cars and also a long snack with powder inside. I liked chewing it directly. There was also Hogai candy. Back then there were lottery activities, and inside the Hogai candy wrapper there might be the words "another one." There was also some kind of green onion fate-like thing. Often while eating it, it would poke the roof of my mouth and make it bleed. My cousin also seemed to study around here. When I was in kindergarten, he was in primary school. Once, my aunt sent us both to school together. Now the kindergarten has long been demolished. When I was in primary school, the entire street was completely leveled. Sigh, it's really a pity. The old street just disappeared like that.